So I wanted to make a video and talk about what's it like running a business at the age of 40. So my first business that I started was probably over 15 years ago, and it was in Washington, D.C. I can't remember which one it was. It was either the charter bus that I ran from Washington, D.C. to the local ski resorts, or it was the networking event of, it was called I Date DC, where I hosted speed dating events for young professionals. I can't remember. I know this was like a long time ago. We're actually going to be making a dog collar today in the size extra large. And this is the We Love Utah design inspired by Utah. I don't know if you guys can guess like all the national parks in here. I know that's the Arches. I know Bryce is on there. National Monument. Capitol Reef. I can't remember. So I'm going to be cutting this. I can't remember. I need my little book. But anyway, so back to the subject of what is it like running a small business at the age of 40? And that was my trash can. And failing. Let's see. I am just having a brain fart. I'm actually not great at making videos on the fly. So I have no idea how long this is going to be. So this is an extra large collar. I'm going to cut this at 39 inches. Okay. Wow, I need new scissors. They're so bad right now. It doesn't even cut, but we'll make it work. Okay, so back to the subject. What is it like running a business and failing at 40? But I don't feel like I failed the whole time, but I've had a lot of failed businesses, mostly because I don't have a mentor and I just kind of learn from my mistakes. And running a small business nowadays is so much harder than it was before, especially, yes, after COVID. A lot of things have kind of changed for me. So I kind of want to just share with you guys what I went through, what I'm going through currently, and what I plan to do moving forward with 2025 as a small business. So as of right now, and if we haven't met, my name is Candy. I am an entrepreneur, small business owner, and I am a millennial. So that makes me 40. I turned 40 in May. So I have a few more months before I turn 41. And I feel like this could be an important topic for other entrepreneurs out there that want to start a small business, especially if you're older. I feel like there could be a bit of a disadvantage for us just because I feel like the new generation are really good on social media. You know, I just remember seeing people owning small businesses on TikTok in the past like 3 to 4 years. They would just do really well because of, they know the trend, they know how to make social media. I remember when TikTok first kind of started getting picked up, it was really popular. Um, I told myself that I do not want to be uncomfortable doing things that I don't want to do, like dancing, lip syncing. You may see a few like lip syncing videos back then for TikTok, but I just could not do it after the first one. I was like, this is so cringe. This is not me. I don't want to do it. It's really hard to make me do things that I don't want to do unless I really have to do it. I've thought about it a couple of times because, my business isn't doing well. So that is my TikTok. I took a break on TikTok. I was just tired of always looking for like trending sounds, just always something trending. I just felt that was not sustainable. And my thoughts before with TikTok and businesses growing on there, I just kind of thought, like, how is this even sustainable for small businesses always chasing after something that is trending, right? So I was just like, I'm not going to do this. I guess I am a little old school. I think email list is the way to go. And I know a lot of the new generation, they don't believe in email list, or they'll say something like, I don't want to bother people. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I was on Facebook and there was this small business asking, like, how do you get more businesses? What do you guys do for your customers? And I mentioned to her, I was like, oh, email marketing is my bread and butter. Like, that's like 80-90% of my sales. And she got so upset and she was like, I refuse to send emails to anybody. That's not something I do for my business. And I'm just like, okay, like, you're going to actually learn that you're going to have to send emails to people because that's just part of running a business. Running a business, I just feel like there's just so many facets to it, like a diamond. I'm actually grabbing my hardware for the collar that I'm making, and I have moved a lot of stuff everywhere, so I have no idea where I put everything. Okay, all right. So this is what I'm grabbing. All right. So I'm ready. I just gotta change the thread. What I grabbed is these are our extreme strong buckles that we use for large and extra large dog collars. They are extremely strong, like extremely. And I've sourced only the best. And we use stainless steel D-rings, so they are also very strong. At the same time, they're great for water activities because our dogs are very active and well, I wouldn't say very active, but they like water activities. But anyway, so back to what I was talking about, just marketing for small businesses has changed so much because I remember when I first started on Etsy. When I first started on Etsy a long time ago, and it was so easy to get views, like to get people to get to your shop and see what you're talking about earlier. I feel like a failure running my small business at age of 40 because I still haven't paid myself. I can hardly afford anything, if anything. I can't afford anything. I'm broke as F, and my husband has had to carry all the weight for me because how things have ended. In the very beginning, when I was running Etsy, it did really well. My shop did really, really well. And I think around COVID time, things did super well. I was making like $20,000 a month. Now it's so embarrassed. Like right now, there's $99 of sales that I've made this month in January 2025. If I'm being completely honest with you, like I am so freaking embarrassed that how it even got here. Like the economy has changed so much. It's not even like, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Because I email marketing, I do social media, I know how to run ads, and like nothing is actually working because the psychology of buying has changed so much. And for a 40-year-old, it's kind of hard for me, because I see so many younger generations thriving on TikTok with the content that they make. So it's just been really hard just to figure out, like, what the F am I doing wrong? What else can I do to stay sustainable? Because last year I had basically said, this is it. Like, I cannot do this anymore. Like, my emotions cannot handle this anymore. Like, How long can I go for? But then I think about like, what am I going to do if I don't have a small business? Because I feel like I don't know how to do anything else. I don't feel like I'm hireable because I don't have a college degree. Like, and I feel like people don't want to hire small business owners because they know that their mind is somewhere else, which is true. So it's just been a struggle, just not being able to figure out what the F I'm doing wrong. So this is part of the reason why I've been making more YouTube content, just more authentic stuff, because I don't like to follow trends. Trends just hurts my head. So I'm going to do what I want to do, which is make content. I'm going to talk, and I just want to bring you guys on the journey. And hopefully, like a year from now, I can watch this again and be like, geez, like I should have done this sooner. Maybe this worked. And, or I could be like a year from now, like, well, shit, like I just need to close and just not have this headache anymore, sell the business and do something else, work for somebody else and get a paycheck just doing 9 to 5, which does not sound good to me for being an entrepreneur for so long. And I almost feel like this is just in my blood. I want to talk about like earlier this year, I went to Japan with my mom and we went to a ramen museum, right? I'll get to what the ramen museum have to do with anything in a bit. I just remember learning about the guy behind making the ramen noodle cups. I forgot his name, unfortunately, so I cannot quote him, but you guys should look this up later if you're interested in that. And I just remember reading through his whole museum that his journey did not start till he was 40. His entrepreneur journey did not start. I think just remembering what made him start ramen was because during the war in Japan, he just saw like how people were eating ramen on the street and it was very inconvenient. So he had to figure out a way how to make the ramen noodle taste good after they put in water. Is this my chocolate from earlier? Oops. So I think he figured out a method of how to like fry the noodles, and then once you put it back in water, it was like golden. And then I remember he went to the United States to figure out how to do something. I can't remember clearly, but when he was doing the presentation, they had asked him if he had a cup to put his noodles in. And he ended up, I think, splitting the ramen in half and putting in the cup. And that was his aha moment for his cup of noodle business that started. And he was also, I believe, the first guy that got cup of noodles in space. Kind of cool, right? So I feel like he was actually pretty inspiring for me, and just learning about so many other entrepreneurs that just didn't even get anywhere till after 40, which it says Martha Stewart was one of them. She did not build her empire till after she was 40. The KFC guy founded KFC at 62. I mean, like, look at his legacy now. Vera Wang, she started her business after she was 40 as well. The guy that owned McDonald's, Roy, he turned that into a franchise in his 50s. So I feel like I need to get out of the mindset of you're old, you're 40, and there's still an opportunity for me to be successful after not being successful for 15 plus years as an entrepreneur, which is embarrassing, so still. And recently I've been listening to this podcast by Guy Raz. And what I love about his podcasts is that he doesn't interview people that are new, that are like been just around. He interviews people like, I was just finishing listening to like Kava, the guy from Kava, the guy from Insomnia Cookie, Labar, just a lot of like people that's been around for a long time. And what I've noticed is most of these entrepreneurs, they don't even make a penny or get anywhere till like their 10th year in business, which is a long time. But I feel like that really tests you as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner. Like, can you ride through, this and not just give up when you have a bad year, a bad month, a bad couple of years? So I feel like the people that are meant to be entrepreneurs, small business owners, they ride through it and they get through it at some point. Your business adventure may not be the same as other people that makes a ton of money, that have tons of orders, or the people that you see on social media that gets a shit ton of order from a launch or, just going viral. Social media is fake because some of them don't talk about the struggles that they have, or like if they have a lot of orders, they have to spend a lot of money on ads or stuff like that. Sometimes I just feel like it's just not very transparent about the struggles that they go through as well, because you don't get a sale every single day. You really don't. I mean, some companies do, but kind of rare. So I guess like my takeaway for being a small business owner after 40 is just, if you have the drive and if you can take care of your mental health, which I cannot. I had so many mental health breakdowns and actually had to get on meds to help me control everything. You can do it. Like, you can be an entrepreneur after 40. You can be successful if you keep trying. But success could mean so many different things to so many different people. Success right now to me is being able to get back up after so many fails. Like, I'm not talking about 1, 2, a dozen. I'm talking about a shit ton, like a lot. And that you're still standing here as a person. I didn't give up because it just didn't make sense for me to give up on something that I spent so much money, time, and effort on for the past 8 years. So what I ended up doing is I stopped doing what I was doing and I started thinking differently. So right now, like I said, I want to stop selling as much on social media. I want to connect more. I want to take you guys on my journey as a small business owner with all the struggles that I go through when I have good and bad days. And just be very transparent with everyone, like, oh, this month was shitty. I only had this many sales. Like I was being really honest with you guys earlier that I've only made $99 so far, and we're like mid-January. That has never happened before. But looking at my numbers for the past 2 years, I have dropped 50% from 2 years ago. And I'm slowly coming back up, which just hurts so much. But I'm still here. And I believe that there are dog parents out there that need my durable dog gear. There are dog parents out there that have dogs that swim, dock dives, hikes, and they need durable dog gear with cute designs on them. I really think so, because the whole point of me starting this business was I clearly remember I was in the store with Jib, my first dog, and I was like, wow, there are no cute, like dog collars, harnesses for dogs that are bigger. Like, everything was just meant for smaller dogs. So that was how Wildside kind of got started. I actually did not start with dog collars or harnesses at first. I started with collar flowers made from felt material that I sewed on, I cut out on the Cricut machine. I did that for a little while, and I also did my first craft show, which it was bad. Like, I got so sad that I didn't make any sales, or maybe a few, but just not enough. Then I started questioning, like, do I want to keep doing this? Do people really need dog collar flowers for their dogs? Is this a necessity? A dog collar is, but dog cauliflower, no. So that was when I started watching YouTube to teach myself how to sew, because I didn't know how to sew at all. Oops. Oh, what is this? Is this a spider? Ew. No, what is that? Something burned? Okay. And that's how I taught myself how to sew. Just get familiar with materials, and that's how else I got started. And funny story is, my mom actually grew up sewing, and I had no idea that I was going to be just like her. She's super talented, so I'm nowhere near her skill set when it comes to sewing. Because I remember she used to like even make wedding dresses for her customers. She had an alteration shop. When I was younger, I would help her. I remember getting off from school after she picked me up. I eat and do my homework. She would have a bunch of pant legs ready, prepped for me to hem them. And I would get paid either 25 cents or 50 cents per pant leg that I hemmed. So there are at times that were so many pant legs that I had to hem in a day. But that was like money that I would go spend and get pizza next door. This was in Virginia Beach. This place called Smitty's Pizza. They had the best pizza and cookies. And I just remember my mom teaching me to be responsible. I would earn like a quarter as well for vacuuming the shop or cleaning the windows. I would have to buy my own shampoo because she didn't feel like that should be provided, which I'm totally fine, because I feel like I'm a much better adult because of that. But anyway, so I guess it's never too late, even at 40, to chase your dreams. And I think it's all in the mind of how old you think you're going to be if you want to be successful at something. But it's not too late, because I still believe in myself that I will get there at some point, as long as my mental health doesn't fail me. This is my complete dog collar, adjustable dog collar. We are going to go ahead and send this off, and I cannot wait for the pup to wear this. In conclusion, if you're 40 plus and you're thinking about starting your own business, do it, because I feel like you only live once and you only get to experience owning your own business once. And it's not even meant for everyone, because I know for a fact that there are some people cannot deal with entrepreneurship, and they have to have very corporate set rules, and that's just how they function. Entrepreneurs are totally different type of people. We are very scrappy. I feel like we're scrappy. We come up with a solution, just like on the fly. We always think about like, we can always think of like workarounds. That's just in our DNA. But yes, start a business if you want to. Do, educate yourself on what can help you as a small business. Don't be negative like the email person I was talking about. Like, I don't want to bother people. I would never do emails. Like, that's just not my style. Don't do that. You need to be open. If people are trying to help you from the outside, you take it, okay? Because you don't know what you don't know as a small business owner, and we all have to learn along the way. If you guys have any more questions, or if you guys have any questions about my whole small business journey, I am happy to answer them for you. I don't know what I could cover, but just drop them below and I will do my best to answer them.